As of late, there are a lot of racial tensions and stuff that just seem to be flooding the airwaves and the internet. And a lot of people are caught up in traditionalism, nationalism, and blind patriotism to the point where they're infringing on others' rights. And they will not even make an attempt to understand why certain people feel the way they do about certain things. I'm about to put out some information there, and hopefully it helps you understand why some people feel the way that they do about certain things. It's called Things You Thought You Knew. When we're young, we're taught many things. Many of those things are taught to build up a sense of national pride and patriotism. Human nature leads us to learn what we are taught, and seldom do we question things, because to do so would require effort. Sadly, many people are lazy in their nature and simply cruise through life on the minimal effort, and they don't make waves. I'm not one of those people. I've been getting in trouble and pissing people off for years because I question everything. I was never the kid who took things at face value, because over the years I've learned that a great deal of what I was taught are lies, especially history. History is written by the victors, or at least the history we're taught to believe. Like all kids, I would say the Pledge of Allegiance every morning in school. As I got older, I began really questioning it and the purpose behind it. To me, it seemed like an indoctrination kind of thing to do. As I studied it, I learned a lot, and I've shared its original form in the past. I even posted it in its original form to see who would correct it based off of what they were taught. I asked what was wrong with the version that I had posted, and I received the answers as expected. I was told that I had forgotten of the United States of America and one nation under God. Truth be told, I hadn't forgotten them because they weren't in the original version. Here are the various versions for the original to the present. 1892, the original version of the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, that was revised in 1892, and we kept the revised edition until 1923. And it is, I pledge allegiance to my flag of the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Times changed, so we revised it again in 1923, and it stayed the same until 1954. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. But that wasn't good enough, and we revised again in 1954, and it became, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I did that little experiment to prove to myself people will come across as nostalgic and correct anything that goes against the version of whatever it is they're taught, and they will not look for answers that would contradict their personal narratives. God was added in 1954 due to the Red Scare of the Russians, because for some reason it made us better than the USSR because we have God. Who's to say they didn't have God? Hitler admired the United States citizens' original hand salute so much that he made it the hand salute for the Nazi Party. So we turned it into the hand over the heart. Now, I didn't share this to anger people. I shared it as an educational tool to prove that just because we learn a new version of something doesn't mean that it's always been that way. Now that we've covered the Pledge of Allegiance, let's move on to the StarSpangled Banner. The StarSpangled Banner is something that we all learn, and we hear it at sporting events on a regular basis. We think we know it, but we only know what they teach us to get us beating our chest and feeling patriotic. Many of our citizens claim to be so patriotic and say they live by the Constitution and Bill of Rights. I've learned their claims are a fallacy. Recently, I've heard absurdities, threats against others' lives and well-being for exercising their First Amendment rights and choosing not to stand for the anthem, because our nation is oppressive towards African Americans and people of color. After doing my research, I have to agree that we are an oppressive nation in many ways, but so many people have been blinded into believing that we are a star-spangled, awesome nation that's perfect in every way. The blinders are on, and the pack mentality is in full gear when you go against the national norm. I'm happy to say that a number of people were supporting Kaepernick when I watched last night's game, and there are a lot of veterans and service members who support him exercising his First Amendment rights without the clause of only if what you say is popular and practiced by many. I get it. Y'all have your narrative and we have ours. We're only taught the first verse of the song. I'll give you the original version in its entirety, as written by Francis Scott Key on September 14, 1814. And I'll leave it up to you to decide if its content is racially charged. We all know the original verse that we learn. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's the part we know. Now here's the rest of it. On the shore dimly seen through the mist of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes, what is that which the breeze o'er the towering steep? Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam. In full glory reflected, now shines in the stream. 'Tis a star-spangled banner, oh long may it wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Now the third verse is the one that African Americans have a problem with, and it's understandable. And where is it that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood is washed out, their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. And then the final verse is, oh, thus it ever when free men shall stand between their loved home and war's desolation. Best it with victory and peace, may the heavy and rescued land praise the power that hath made to preserve us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust. And the star-spangled banner triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. I personally see it, and there is a tone of white superiority in most of our songs that we're taught are patriotic. America the Beautiful is a song about ill-gotten gains and the justification of slaughter. It ends on a white supremacist kind of note, and here it is. I'll let you decide. America the Beautiful by Catherine Lee Bates, with the melody by Samuel Ward. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. That's the part that we know. Here's the rest of it. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet, whose stern impassioned stress, a thoroughfare of freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul on self-control, thy liberty in law. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness and every gain divine. O beautiful for patriots' dreams, that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed this grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. O beautiful for Hatsaline skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties above the enameled plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, till souls wax fair as earth and air, and music hearted sea. O beautiful for pilgrims' feet, whose stern impassioned stress, a thoroughfare for the freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, till past be wrought through wilds of thought by pilgrim foot and knee. O beautiful for glory tale of liberating strife, when once and twice for man's avail man lavished precious life. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, till selfish gain no longer stain the banner of the free. O beautiful for patriot dreams that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, till nobler men keep once again thy whiter jubilee. Now I can say that I put the information out there in hopes of expanding minds and building an understanding of why some people feel so strongly against certain things, and justifiably so.